What's going on, Tennessee here, and I've got one of my old students, Brandon, here. He just upgraded. So I decided to see if he wanted to do an interview. I kind of had to twist his arm and say, yeah, let's do this. I got Shelton here too. He might talk, he might not. He was actually one of the students. They both kind of upgraded pretty much the same time, right?
Yep.
So, but yeah, let's go ahead and see. How was the TNT process, Brandon?
The TNT process was pretty good. I mean, when I came into it, I was expecting, honestly, just to be driving like I did. But a lot throughout it, my trainer helped me through it. The only time I really had to wake him up and stuff like that when I was going to doctors and stuff like that.
Okay. So, how often did he actually let you back up?
It was kind of like a 50-50 trial what we do. Because half the time, how the loads would run, it would be him pulling into the dock and stuff, and I'll be back there in the back sleep. But then it'll flip-flop like every week and a half or so like that. Then I'll be the one going into it and backing and stuff.
Okay, so he's saying you flip-flop. Did you actually work with the shipper and receiver and get your bills and put them into the Qualcomm yourself?
Yep. I got to use the Qualcomm and my phone. He showed me both ways on how to use it.
Okay. So, so at the beginning of this, I did mention that you were one of my students. How did you feel I was as a trainer, and your experience going into TNT? How did you feel when you finally passed your test and out on the road?
When I passed my test, I was nervous, but then I remember all the stuff that you taught me, and it really helped me out there on the road because a lot of stuff I did out here was a lot what I had to do out there on the road. You know, it just really comforted me and aided me through it.
Good.
It gave me the confidence to do it.
Well, good. So, so what was it like coming back now and getting ready for your truck? I know you're on a waiting list for your truck. Not sure how far you out on it, all that, but you know you're ready for a truck. So what's the process when you get back here to where you're at now?
The process when you come back is the first class you will end up taking is your Sims class, which is honestly just getting there and you have a couple scenarios, then you have to do a test, with a backing test, honestly. And then after that, you have this class called a Slingshot Business class where they go in and show you the ways of leasing and stuff, which I'm doing, going on lease.
Okay.
Then after that, they do a laws class, and after that one, they do a tax and services class, did by Abacus. And it's probably going to get to do my tax and stuff for me because they showed me all the right points and stuff that I need to do.
Okay, yeah, you kind of answered another question I was going to ask you is, were you going to go company or lease? You said lease, so what made you decide to stay, instead of doing company for a few months, what made you decide to go into lease right away?
Honestly, I debated with myself for a minute about doing company or lease, and I kind of asked around and talked to a couple people, and I went on the side and asked my uncle about it because he used to be a driver at Prime. And he was like, with leasing, the only thing you have to really worry about is make sure you budget and stuff like that. But other than that, they really make it easy.
Yeah, because that's the first thing when usually students ask me company or lease. I always say go company first, at least 6 months to a year. Know the business before you worry about your finances. But it looks like you got your head on straight with the finance part. So you got that good advice there. Did you got anything you want to chime in on?
Well, yeah, I can speak on my situation a little bit. Mine was kind of similar to his. My trainer out there on TNT, I was flatbed, and Brandon, I believe you were flatbed for a little minute, then you crossed over. So he was flatbed for a little minute, then he crossed over, but I was just pretty much flatbed. And with my experience, I kind of got the problem with backing because like both of my trainers were like, they really didn't show me any backing because they're trying to tell me like with flatbed, you pretty much don't do too much backing. But there are going to be scenarios when you really do need the back. So I'm just kind of a little nervous about the backing portion of everything. But other than that, I mean, everything is pretty much fine. I never chose company. I was always thinking lease, just like you were saying, so you can know the business. And eventually, I want to be an owner-operator. So I figured like that just helped me straight out the box, you know, and just learning the business side of things.
Okay, so you said you had to do a backing test when you got here. Did that involve, you guys know what I'm saying? I'm gonna refrain from saying it that way, the simulator. What did you guys think versus the simulator versus the real truck?
The simulator, the only thing I would say I hate about the simulator is the braking portion of the simulator. because on the actual truck, the brakes are a lot more sensitive than it is in the simulator.
Okay. But other than that, did it kind of feel like, I know it don't feel exactly like the real truck, but did it simulate actually driving the truck in the real world?
Yeah, to a certain extent it
To a
did.
certain extent, okay. I guess, unless you got anything else, so I appreciate you doing this for me, man.
No problem.
Coming on here. I'll definitely let you guys know when it hits. Will be probably tomorrow or this evening.
Okay.
We don't know. So I appreciate it.
No
All
problem.
the good luck and the
Appreciate
success
it.
the rest of your guys' career in trucking. And so until next time, we'll see you in the next one.
Holla.
Be
Later.
safe.